My dog drinks cereal.
There we
Yep, it's a
go.
surprise stream.
Testing 1, 2. Alright, I think I'm coming through the mic. Sorry, I had to reconnect all the audio stuff in here. Every now and then OBS is like, audio settings? What are those?
Yeah.
Let's just disconnect all of these things and put it onto the default device. And what is the default device, you ask? There isn't one. Let me turn the Toonami beats down just a little bit. That way you are louder than Toonami beats, Liz. You've finally done it. Congratulations. Yeah, just a casual, Wednesday night? What's casual Wednesday night stream? Because I had some coloring to do, and it was compatible with a stream, so I was like, yeah, I'll just do it on stream. I'm actually looking at the Dreamkeeper's Ascension book cover, because we just got the logo painted up yesterday. Started off, of course, as everything does, with a nice little thumbnail sketch. The logo evolved quite a bit from this point. I tried some things that didn't quite work, but I liked the ideas, and then it finally came together, and now I like the final logo quite a bit. And we've got the character art done as well. Let's see. I think I'm gonna actually paint the character art in the source file, because it's a little higher resolution here. And I'm just gonna plop the Ascension logo up there as kind of a placeholder. Just so it's not going to be the exact right scale and everything like that, but that way it just sort of gives the right vibe behind there. I also want to have a map in the background of the cover. Right? That's sort of the idea for the substrate of the cover, is just like a cool map back there and like a big giant sort of crescent moon. Maybe that's actually a cutaway, because that would look really cool if we get a slipcase for the book. But anyways, for a map, I know we were talking about the Andruna map. I just want to pull in the line art for Norvendire as a placeholder for now, because I feel like the Andruna map is going to be a little bit, not quite the scale that I want for this. And I just need to drop something placeholder back here. Yeah, something like that. Again, this isn't even going to be the absolute final juxtaposition and everything. I just want to get the basic color and sort of textures into the backdrop of this character file, so I can shade them and have it sort of in the ballpark of what I want. So naturally, Cliché David always runs to his favorite burnt paper texture.
So Wednesday Dreamkeepers, what is this witchcraft, Dave?
This witchcraft is, I keep on saying like, oh, I like having 2 scheduled streams, I like having flexible schedule, but occasionally I should try to stream a little more often if I can. And then today was occasionally, I guess. It's the occasion. Did you see the play on words with the you get it. You're all smart.
Oh, but it's Thursday there, Dave.
It is Thursday there?
It's Thursday.
All this time, everyone should just base their time on what time is it for David. That's universal time. We need universal
This
time.
is going to be a book cover, not a poster. But I know you're going to want it to be a wall scroll, because it's stupid.
A wall scroll? I mean, it doesn't have to be a wall scroll. There's not like a law that it has to be a wall scroll, but it could maybe be a wall scroll.
I told you.
Well, now you have planted the idea, Liz. Why did you plant the idea if you didn't want to grow a tree made out of wall scrolls? Yeah, this is going to be the book cover for the Ascension lore book. Well, actually, I'm trying to even figure out what the most accurate title is for it, because it's a lore book for Dreamkeepers, but it's also the core rule book for our Ascension game system. So it's like, how do I say that so that people know that it is both things and they're kind of interchangeable? And I think I'm going to call it Dreamkeeper's Ascension Lore, Bible, and Core Rulebook, because that seems clear, and they can have like part of the title be up here, and part of the title be down here, and everybody wins. Everybody's a winner in that scenario. And yeah, cover's gonna feature V with some Troika gear, Aura, because she's like the new fun girl in town, and a Nightmare back there. I also figure this is a good way to sort of show, you know, in case this makes its way into game shops or something, people are browsing around, and if they're like, oh, what's this thing? Like, I want them to get the flavor of Dreamkeepers and some sort of like some of the main themes right away. So, excuse me, logos I think doing pretty good. Cool
Dave,
map in the background.
Her tail is too damn long.
Auras? Some might say it's too long, some might say it's not long enough. It depends on how sleepy you are and whether or not you have your own body pillow. Yeah, there's gonna be, if we do an Aura body pillow, there's gonna be an extra pillow that is just the tail. I think that's the plan, right?
Okay. So how many pictures do we have of her already? Like 4? I think we have like 9.
There's...
And Ascension is the RPG, yeah?
Yeah, Ascension is the roleplay game. Well, it's going to be also, you know, just like, you don't have to do the roleplay game. You can just read the lore book and be like, I am learning more about the dream world. But the roleplay game is fun. Hopefully. Unless I messed it up and everyone's like, oh no, this is more like a roleplay chore. Dun 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 dun. But no, I think it's going to be extremely fun, actually. Oh, what am I doing? Let me make a little whiteout layer just for this chore. That way, in case I do something like, oh no, I can, you know, and then I ran out of undos or something and didn't notice that until later. I could go back in and get it.
What are you doing?
Me? I'm just painting white on everything, like I tend to do. Playing with colors. Yeah, the tail is actually solid muscle. You might think it's like, oh, it's all fluffy and lightweight. No, it's that's where she stores all of her body fat.
She'll sink. Her butt sinks.
If she's like, I've really let myself go, you can tell because her tail just gets, that's where the fat goes, is right into the tail.
It's her power convenience censorship, maybe.
We might have to add that to our power list, actually, just to make sure that the books
Sorry.
never show. Although
Sorry,
I don't know,
smut lords.
we've been actually not really like holding conversations like summits, the nipples summit, but like we have been talking about when we get to CRPM, like, are we gonna really like double down on super obvious strategic censorship, or are we just gonna be like, you know what, it's their civilization, we want this to be kind of for adult audiences anyways. There might occasionally be a nipple, you know, everyone clutch your pearls and good luck. See you on the other side. But some of the I don't know, sometimes strategic censorship can get pretty ridiculous. I remember as a kid growing up, all of the Bible stories of Adam and Eve, it got pretty fun sometimes, because they're running around the garden and it's like, okay, there's only so many bushes in the foreground that you can do. What's next? Is there going to be like a stop sign right in the way, or, you know, like there's an ostrich that just happens to be like bringing its head up to look in the perfect place to censor that area? They got creative. But you're not going to see what the good Lord put in that garden.
I think you need to knock your signature off of this.
Off of the... yeah.
Okay.
Now, no one will know. Who drew this, and was he 25 years old? No, that's not the age, it's the year I drew it. Although if I live into the next century, 2125, then they're going to be like, well, which century was it?
Oh, it's a dilemma.
I'll fix it later. Y2K logic. Yeah, Volume 1 definitely, especially if someone like gets introduced to Dreamkeepers through like Prelude. Prelude is, you know, Prelude gets a little more adulty
long
as
as
it
you-
goes, but it starts out like, you know, rated
Yeah.
PG, and then you get to the graphic novels, and it's like, whoa, the death and blood is fountaining around. Oh goodness.
Dream keepers more like stream keepers. We're stream keepers.
We're stream keepers.
Stream keepers.
It rhymes. That means we have to use it. I don't think we're allowed to say no at this point. That's how it works. Legally. I know all about the law. So,
What not to do,
like if
and what you can get away with.
like if someone comes up with a name for you that rhymes, you can't debate it. Like if someone was like David Lilly, more like
David Silly.
fuck. I cannot legally dispute that name now because it's like, well, it rhymes, and according to USC code 976 whatever.
Okay, you. So have we gotten into bird watching? It's as boring as it sounds. We had a lot of bird watching when we had bird seed out on the front porch, but it got kind of expensive because those birds ate a lot of seed. And now that I don't feed them, they're completely gone.
I think the reason old people get into bird watching is because old people have come to know what other people are like, and they're just like, oh, like, screw this noise. The animals are better. Let's chill with the woodland creatures. So the old people are just like, no, we're going Snow White. Enough of these other people.
Although we have the doves that are up on the front porch.
Yeah, that's like usually we go out and visit the doves and see how they're doing, see how they're raising up the little micro doves. So we don't.
They're sitting on the babies right now.
Yeah, they're at the stage where they're like, well, I just made baby doves. I'm gonna sit on them as though they're eggs, and then.
Yep, they're morning doves, so they're wooing. Oh, they were wooing one morning. It was the most annoying noise ever. It's so terrible.
Well, that was the morning when they were like, where has the birdseed gone? And then they had to complain about it for like 9 hours.
Yeah, I stopped feeding them because I had to repair the bird feeder because they were fat and they broke it. And I did, and then I had to go buy more bird seed, and then they complained that it was gone.
They did complain that it was gone.
Yep, that's what they do. That is exactly what they do.
Then you do it back
And
to
then
them and they give you confused looks.
Well, I was supposed to drive out of the garage, and they were just sitting in the driveway blocking the road.
Oh yeah, the great birdseed blockade of 2025. I remember it well.
Took a photo, and they were just sitting in the middle of this driveway, just blocking me.
Yeah.
Oh, for about a week, the birds in Dragon Lost area was devouring the bird seed.
Oh, nice. Like one bird was just coming in and dominating.
I don't know. Yeah, we have 2 bird feeders, one for the doves and one for the other birds. And they love the other one. And then the squirrels get into the dove one because doves are so fat, doves can't use a regular bird feeder, so it's like a porch swing, like open air kind of shelf for them. But that means the squirrels can get into it.
That's alright. I kind of think of it low-key as a bit of a squirrel feeder as well.
I know. They get in there and eat the corn.
They have all those like
I've got
elaborate
one once.
devices in stores like stop the squirrels, like anti-interceptor squirrel climb up deployment stopper, and it's like, why are you all about like you feed the birds? Do you not like squirrels? They're cute. Come on. Let the squirrels get a little bit of seed. It may have been too sticky to fly away.
He had a problem where, like, I think the bird flew into the garage and got stuck in like a trap or something.
Oh, a trap.
Like a sticky trap.
There's sticky traps for birds?
Well, not for birds, but I think it was like a bug or rat trap.
Oh, I guess so. It was like for something else, and the bird was like, "What about me?" Oh no.
Yep. Yeah, it was a sticky rat trap. And he caught a bird. What is the weapon she's holding called? A Springer? I think it's a Mach something.
This is a yeah. All the guns in the Dream World are Springers, and this is a mid-range Mark III, specially designed by Sinter for the Troika, which is sort of the underground paramilitary group of Andoruna. They're not supposed to. They're not supposed to have these. They're against the rules.
Government likes the rules.
They do.
Fuck the government.
Well, technically, the Troika's not anti-government. Theoretically, they're not anti-government. They're supposed to be anti-nightmare.
I think Sinter's anti-government.
Well, there's theory and then there's practice. There's the Troika on paper, and then there's like, well, what does Sinter actually do? To be fair, he's got some decent logic. Like, when the nightmares are literally using a corrupt government, it's like easier to make the case to be anti-government. So, enter moral gray zones.
Armor and clothes have specific names.
Let's see, the clothing, it's just like one of the Troika jackets. They've got, like, one of the main things that you have to do when you enter the Troika is you have to mandatory cool jackets. Tank top, so she doesn't even have any body armor on. They do have a range of different body armor types. They got, like, some kind of, they have heavy armor with shoulder pauldrons and, you know, like, thigh guards and all this stuff. And
Okay, so question.
yeah.
We know nothing of Ascension. How many factions are there?
In Ascension, definitely, well, there's more factions than there are in Andoruna, because there's going to be more civilizations than Andoruna in Ascension. So offhand, there's 4 major factions in Andoruna, and we are definitely getting a lot of Serapeum into Ascension. So I'd say that's at least 5. And then there's also going to be a lot of all of the different religions and stuff. I don't know if you would call them full-blown factions, but they'll be like different belief systems or religions, or like esoteric runic knowledge will give your character different capabilities and traits. So I don't know, there's going to be a lot of ways to customize your character build in Ascension.
Mamo wants her to have regular jackets as well, so he needs to name it differently. I don't know about that. I don't know how many jackets she has. I think I've seen maybe 2 different kinds of jackets on her.
I know we've drawn more than one, which I think the honest, like, initial reason for that is just consistency issues. But it's pretty easy to retcon that and be like, you know what? She is a fashion designer. I'm pretty sure that some of these jackets she literally designed for Sinter to have produced for the Troika, so it would make sense that she would actually own, like, a small variety of different pieces of apparel.
I think he's trying to figure out the label for his AI machine.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know the jacket that I'm actually sticking with as her primary one that she's going to be sporting in Volume 6, it's the jacket that has a bandolier for pistol shells going down the fronts of it. I think that's the one that she wears when she first appears in Volume 3 as well.
Are the Springers loud without gunpowder? It's probably quieter than a gun, but suppressed gun?
Yeah, it might be about the volume of, I don't know how loud suppressed gunfire is, honestly. I know it's probably louder than you see in the movies where it's like super silent James Bond. But yeah, basically it's not as loud as an explosive gunshot because, yeah, correct, there's no gunpowder. But it's still very loud. Picture, because it's like sort of a fantasy material for the springs, it can compress and store more energy than like a normal actual real spring can. So picture like a hyper spring just exploding and like launching a metal projectile or ceramic projectile out.
Are those bullet holders on her shorts?
On her shorts? Yeah, she likes to tote around canisters on her shorts or shells for the the long range Gatling recoil cannon. That's a big one.
Okay, would Troika make jackets for Dreamkeepers that can fly like in high altitudes?
Yeah, sure. Probably have to be extra insulation on those, and you'd want it to be a little more buttoned down so it's not flapping around all over and causing stabilization issues.
I think the jackets I've seen, it's that. Actually, I think it's the padded collar that changes a little bit. Where I've seen it like it has a cream layer of like fluff, and then there's some that don't. So I'm not sure how many jackets we have.
Yeah. I do think, I know like people could be like, it's such a cop-out, you're just messing up, but I think it's fair to go ahead and just be like, you know what, V probably has a couple different jackets in her closet canonically, and then I just need to make sure that when she's in a book running around in a jacket, that is the jacket for that scene. Because, you know, I don't want her to like run through a doorway and then come out like dressed as a, like, when did she get dressed as a jester? I don't remember that. Oh, she keeps another jacket in her jacket pocket for more jacket, shut up!
David lore.
The tale of David and drawing too many of jackets.
Careful with your fantasy materials, other technologies might be obvious and create plot holes.
Oh yeah, you gotta be cautious about the plot holes. Well, this is actually Aura's back leg. Let me snag her blue line color.
What? No.
You got it correct. That's the right, like you colored it totally accurate.
Well, I don't think I got it right on the lines layer.
That's okay. Actually, before I really drill down on this lines layer, I need to decide, big picture, if I want V to have, like, if we want to keep this olive green for this tank top, or if we want to give her a white tank top.
Oh, I forgot. I think, why did I do green? I don't remember why I did green.
Green is cool. It gives that military vibe.
Yeah.
White might give more of like a punchy value contrast with the jacket, though. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, you know, make a separate layer and then look at it both ways, and we can be like, which color of tank top should she have for the cover of Ascension? In fact, I think I might do that now. So here is V. Let's make a new clipping layer. Select this tank top area. And let's just give her a white tank top. See what happens.
Does Fricka have any flying dreamkeepers that can drop bombs and recon, etc.? I think Sage could probably do it.
Yeah, Sage looks like she has enough surface area wing to body mass ratio that she actually could successfully fly.
I think Graf could too.
I don't know, he's pretty heavy. I know he could glide. He could glide pretty effectively. But I don't think he could like do much more than a super jump. If he was starting from ground level, I think he could jump, flap, get more air, glide down from there, but I don't think he could be like, you know, up and away. Alright, let me zoom out a little bit. I'm way far away, looking at this book cover. I think white pops a little more against the jacket. You want to come look over my shoulder real quick and let me know what you think? Up close, it was sort of like, I like both versions.
Oh, you're
but
right.
but from far away, see how much more value contrast we get.
matches Aura's tail.
Yeah, it also goes better with Aura's tail, so...
Okay, good.
Okay, let's go with white for her tank.
They're saying that V needs a plunging neckline because her head won't fit through that shirt hole. It's stretchy fabric. I happen to know that when I do the plush, I have to sew it on from the back, and it's like an apron kind of deal that goes on them, and then sews on the back. So there's no way I can get it over her head.
No, they just discovered another plot hole. Hold on. Must make something up so I don't look dumb. Must make something up. It's...
So I feel smart.
It's a special kind of fabric. It's dream wool.
Dream wool.
And it senses when someone's noggin is coming, and it'll diffuse the surface threads. Liz, you got like a smoke bomb handy? I can borrow real quick.
Yeah. I got a yawn.
And then she yawned. Just getting these line colors all nice and colored in. Start with the wrong color, then later make it the right
Dave,
color. Dave
We think
tips.
we think her boobs are growing, and you're contradicting the character lineup.
Dun 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 dun.
Unless she's older here. Maybe she's older.
I would say it's mainly the angle of the jacket swooping in. Like her torso isn't that thin. It's the jacket really emphasizes a curve that's not necessarily in evidence. It is a major concern though.
Have we seen One Piece and Nami? We have not.
Nope. I don't know. In theory, I want to like anime, and in theory, pirates are cool. But then I heard One Piece was like 10 trillion million episodes, and I was like, I don't have that much time in the world. Sorry, One Piece.
Bust goes from modest to sultry. Oh, Dave. You
Yep.
need to check your references. You're getting a little out there.
There's like a slider bar somewhere in my brain.
Evidently, you are not. Maybe she's got padded bra now.
She does carry grenades around in there sometimes.
No, Dragon Lost, we don't know what Nami is. N-A-M-I. We don't know what that is. Oh, a girl for One Piece. No, we don't know what that is. See, I know that if I did this part for you, you'd be going faster, but I have absolutely no idea which parts of the character that you need colored and which you don't. Like, I don't know if the pants need to be a different color for the lines and the shirt, and I just don't know what you want.
Yeah, nah, it's all good. Gives me a chance to kind of do a little detail pass and get all the nuts and bolts the way I like them.
Mm-hmm. So I read online that somebody had a dream that they wanted to buy some ice cream, but they forgot their wallet. So they actually woke up to go get their wallet
Did
and
it
then
work?
tried
Did
to
it
go back
work?
to sleep. No, it took them a minute to figure out, wait a minute.
Oh man. Well, good try. A for effort.
So, wondering, did Karo leave before the beginning of Prelude or much later? When did Karo leave for Prelude?
Oh, Karo left before the beginning of Prelude.
Yeah, but like, was it near the beginning of Prelude? I think it was way before.
I know we've got a couple of illustrations of him in the Prelude times. I think those are in Prelude Collection 2, actually.
Where does milk come from in Andaruna? I think milk probably comes from those York things.
The Yorps? You can milk them. Maybe you might not want to milk them, but you can. The brambles are a little bit like, I don't know. The brambles look more chill. I think they'd be more something that would produce dairy in the necessary quantities.
Milk does come from some animal of some kind. Which actually, you got to put that in your lore book. Those ridiculous things.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of the fun things. Is like actually getting all of the agricultural details kind of like hammered out for Andaruna. Talking about some of the common livestock and crops and things.
What kind of meat do they eat in Andaruna? What animal does it come from?
Lots of bramble steaks. They
I'm
also
sure they have
eat
a variety of.
Yeah, Yorps and brambles, I think, are the main herd animal that we have established. We might add 3 more into the lore book, but for now we got those 2. Well, technically, they've got like a weird life cycle. It's like the same animal, but different stages of life, based on like how big they get and stuff.
I wonder if it tastes different. I bet it does.
It does.
Oh, it's so weird. Do they eat narcissus?
You know, they could, but it might be a little bit like eating a horse. I don't know if they would eat a Gnosis or not, actually.
They're kind of like eating rhinoceros. It could be done, and it's just kind of weird. Hard to kill.
Chewy.
Although, I mean, kind of like a bison, though. People eat bison. Oh. One Piece is on 1139th episode. Yeah, I'm good. You could probably, what is that? You could watch an episode every day for 3 years and not cover it all.
Ugh. Actually, one thing I would be curious about is like within that 1,000 trillion billion whatever, like are there like actually completed story arcs in there where it's like, oh, there's this story arc where I think his name is Luffy is running around and does this, and then it wraps up nicely. And it'd be one thing if there was like, oh, do you like One Piece? Well, you could enjoy this story arc. It is kind of like a nice little story arc, and it spans episodes 1 through 58, and then there you go. That's a good story. But then if it just goes on and on and on, and then like nothing ever gets resolved, and there are no clear story arcs within that framework, then I feel like that would just turn into like kind of a journey across the desert with no end in sight.
You could watch multiple episodes a day, and it would still take months.
Sounds kind of like a prison sentence.
It does actually. I would not do that.
You have been sentenced to watch One Piece in solitary confinement.
There's someone in our readership that watches or has been watching that much One Piece to get caught up. They swear by it, that they seriously watch a couple of episodes a day.
Do they literally swear by it? Like, One Piece!
I don't know.
Like they curse? It's a curse.
I don't know. The arcs are complete. There are some foreshadowings that have not been revealed. It is ending in the not too distant future. Okay, well, at least they have an ending. I hope.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to be like, there's a lot of it, now I will dump on it. Like, if the whole thing is entertaining and the premise doesn't outlive its welcome and there's still like fresh, interesting angles and things to explore, then you know what? If there's a lot of it, then people are having fun with it. That's good. But it sort of does begin to transform into something of like, oh, that's gonna be a bit of an obligation if you want to jump into that.
I hate that when something has like 26 seasons and you have to start at episode 1, and it's just like, it better be good, otherwise it just seems like a real slog.
Kind of depends on like especially if you can break it down into seasons. Sometimes that does make it literally literally more bite-sized. Like for example, I have heard there are like some really good seasons of The Simpsons, and if I was like in the mood to be like, oh, I need some Simpsons in my life, I'd figure out what are the good seasons, and then I'd try to find those ones and watch them. I wouldn't be like, well, now I have to watch all of The Simpsons. Oh no, and it's gonna.
I don't actually like The Simpsons. I don't like any of the character designs, and I think the voices are annoying.
Eat my shorts.
Okay.
I don't know. Some of the writing.
Well, yeah, the writing's really interesting, but I mean, they've had like the Simpsons family do virtually everything by now, and then they have like this thing where like Seymour Skinner loses his job, and then blah 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 blah, and somehow the family gets involved, and it's like the Simpsons family always has to be involved in this stuff. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, that's the name of the show, is The Simpsons, so they kind of had to be involved somehow. But I get what you mean when it's like, oh, now we need to have the arc where we delve deep into Seymour Skinner's backstory that nobody asked for. Eventually, it's sort of like, hey, this is like. That's what I mean, though. It's like I wouldn't watch those like later seasons that are just like scraping the bottom of the bucket for any kind of content. I would go for like the golden era, like when Conan was writing for them. Like that was a pretty good.
Oh, he only wrote like 5 episodes.
Well, yeah, but they were pretty good 5 episodes. Was he the one that wrote? I don't know who the writers of it are, but my favorite Simpsons bit, or at least the one I remember the most, is the future Homer. Like that bit. That's funny.
I don't think that was him. I don't remember.
Whoever wrote that bit is
the Treehouse of Horror
genius.
Is really good. Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like their Halloween specials are a lot of fun.
Oh, the Halloween specials are great. Actually, we need to. I think this is going to be road trip talk. We got to get our Halloween special worked out.
We do, actually. It's not too early to start putting that together. In fact, we should also probably finalize what we're going to do for the hard enamel pin, and because I need to get that in the works with the manufacturing.
Ooh, we should do Aura.
Aura for Halloween.
I don't know about Halloween. I mean, in general.
That's true. She has not had an enamel pin yet. YouTube. There you go.
The oob oob.
It was like, are you still listening to the music that I am playing? It's like, yes. You stopped the music though. Why did you do that, YouTube?
We went to TJ Maxx today, and that ghost sculpture, when you first walked in, looked really cool. It was like a phantom. It's like a 4-foot tall ceramic white ghost.
Yeah, it looked like it was.
Lantern.
It looked like it was billowing in the wind. That was actually a really nice sculpt effect.
That's like $280 though, which I thought was a bit much. It also looked breakable.
Yeah, well, it's like a brand new sort of design, so I would expect them to charge more for it.
That's true. It was really cool how like hollow it was too, and like wrap around.
Yeah, plus it was like, life size. If it was a small person, I guess, so kind of life size.
Yeah.
I could see
Scare
it being
children.
like a few $100. Yeah, scare some kids. Spend a few $100.
Dave, will the lore book feature the other 12 Archons?
Yeah, actually it should. I don't know if it will for sure or not. I know we mentioned them in the Nightmare lore. It's possible that we will. Otherwise, it's possible that those might not be fully explored in the lore book if they could, be something that later, what do they call the campaign modules? I think they just call them campaigns. If like later campaigns might get into those more specifically.
Serapians must have had to adapt their apartments somehow so they don't keep knocking everything down with that tail.
Wide open spaces, columns.
I suspect it's mostly fur. Mostly like a light puff.
Yeah, but it's funnier to pretend like it's all sheer mass. You've been smacked down with a huge tail.
If you start watching One Piece now, it would take 436 hours.
I thought you were gonna say 436 years. It's like, no.
Based on our speed, yeah.
How does that compare to something like I don't know, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Because
Buffy the Vampire Slayer is only 7 seasons.
yeah, because I know that's 7 seasons, and I feel
Yeah.
like that's a good example of a show where it pretty much explored everything you'd want to explore in the premise, and then as it got towards the last season or two, you could kind of feel like they're sort of running thin on ideas of where to go next. And then they wrapped it up with the big epic finish, and it was sort of like, you know what, they did it. Some of the episodes were starting to wear a little thin, but they didn't overstay their welcome too much. 7 seasons, that was pretty good. That's what I want out of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I don't really need that many more. So
Well, they're rebooting it, you know. Except it's not exactly a reboot. It's like Buffy is handing off to another Slayer.
Oh. Yeah. Every time I hear like, oh, they're rebooting or they're continuing or like this thing that was good in the 90s or the 80s, guess what? People are doing new, creative, interesting things. No, they're going back to try to harp on nostalgia in the hopes that that will get them somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean it'll be bad necessarily, but I have not.
Hey, the Alvin and the Chipmunk grandkids want their paycheck. They don't want to work. They want to cash in on Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, I know. In the special features, they're always like, every generation needs to rediscover Alvin and the Chipmunks for themselves because my trust fund isn't going to last forever, and we need that sweet, sweet Alvin and the Chipmunks licensing revenue.
So my family doesn't have to work. Yeah, I
It's
know.
like, do we really like? Is Alvin and the Chipmunks really like a cherished, necessary rite of passage for every generation? And if so, can't we just enjoy Alvin and the Chipmunks as it has existed? Must we have new Alvin and Chipmunks movies? Who knows? Maybe like the new Buffy the Vampire Slayer will be really cool. Might have some really good talent. It might have some really good acting. But my default stance on almost any new productions, really, my default stance is sort of like cautious skepticism, just because there's so much stuff that they churn out these days that is so bad, and so many times when they try to like resurrect the corpse of these old franchises and jiggle it around for like fresh new money. So many times it's like while they're doing that, they're like, and you know what? We actually hate the original and we're gonna desecrate it as hard as we can just to show you how much better we are than the people that made the original. And then it's like, okay, are you actually gonna make something entertaining? No. So maybe your insecurity was well founded, and maybe you should have instead approached the source material with like a bit of respect, just a touch, and maybe understood what worked about it before adding your own special little twist of graffiti. But you know, sometimes good stuff comes out. Sometimes they make cool stuff. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add some more shades of purple to this big guy, because that'll be fun. Especially the monsters, sometimes you can like add a little bit more like texture and surface detail to them, because they almost come across more as like threatening objects than as like, you know, cartoony sort of animated character styles. I think there's a sand golem in the skirmish video game, actually, so I'll have to do an actual consistent character model for that before I jump in and start animating him. But when they're
Oh,
just
that's right.
one-shot illustrations, you can kind of just have a little more fun.
I got these colors off of that skirmish print that you did.
Yeah, the illustration of them for the skirmish game.
Right. I might have adapted the purple a little bit to have a little bit of like variation because it was getting really close. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's alright. I'm kind of playing around with I'm playing fast and loose with the colors now.
That's good.
It kind of works out that, they're all like sort of put together separately assembled, so there's a lot of room for latitude on their composition. Ooh, yeah, I think that's coming together pretty well. Fear, the color of dusky purple. Favored by monsters everywhere. Ooh, yeah, I think the colors are coming together nice on this crew. I'm just gonna give this guy a bit more of an intense purple for his line color. Alright, let's get a little bit of gradients on the characters.
How does nightmare magic work?
It's literally supernatural, so there's not like a scientific basis for it. They just have spiritual potency that they carry with them as an entity, and then once they have a physical vessel, they can bring their essence and their energy to bear in the physical plane.
I think that's going to be in the lore book. So I'm gonna sign off for tonight. I'm kind of tired.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna wrap the stream up pretty soon. Just want to get some gradients, a little bit of gradients in here, and then I'm getting a little bit. I'm not gonna be able to.
I'm not gonna be able to answer questions anymore. I'm zoning out.
It is just about time for a recharge on our batteries, I think.
Oh. All right. So good night.
Good night, Liz. I like these characters as a trio here. I think this is a good... This combo is like a nice color swatch for the cover of the book. Alright. We've got the colors all nice and tightened up. Got the line colors in there. Got more variation on our big bad guy in the background. And I think Liz is getting a little bit sleepy. I'm a little bit zonked out as well. So I think this is going to be it for our impromptu Wednesday night theme. Wednesday night stream. So thanks guys for coming and hanging out with us a little bit, and we will be streaming again, if not before, definitely Friday at our normal time. So till then, everyone be good. Adios. Stream ends in 3, 2, 1.